White privilege is white burden. The reality of white privilege is that it is white burden. In fact, it's a Western burden. Western civilizations have risen and fallen, and it is our duty to live up to our ancestors. It is our burden to honor the sacrifices and great works of philosophers like Roger Bacon and Plato, scientists like Isaac Newton, great painters and thinkers like Leonardo da Vinci, writers like Shakespeare, and mathematicians like Archimedes. We owe everything we have to those who came before us. They did incredible things, bring light into darkness, bringing the masses from antiquity into the modern world, and it is our burden, as with generations before us, to live up to that. Paracelsus brought us medical revolutions during the Renaissance. Charles Babbage brought us the automatic mechanical calculator in the early 1800s. William Kingdon discovered the connection between matter, space, and energy in 1876. Western innovation has been relentless and brought us not just great scientific and medical advances, but great art, political systems, and technology. We must not merely preserve it, but build upon it. In the West, we stand on the shoulders of great people, and we do not have the privilege to just stand by and let the left destroy our history. Today, we are shamed into tearing down our own monuments and told it's the progressive and righteous thing to do. We're told that the feelings of a vocal, hysterical political minority are more important than our own identity. Take, for example, the Robert E. Lee statue in Baltimore, which was torn down and replaced with Lady Liberty of Black Power. Our history is our history, and revisionism is more frightful than even the violence from the mob who insists the monuments be torn down. Put aside the historical context of the statue and what it represents, and ask yourself if the ideologues on the left have anything of quality or craft to replace it with. Clearly, they do not. Consider this a metaphor for the left's total lack of foresight. Once they're done destroying, they have no idea what to put in its place. Once they destroy Western culture, they have nothing to replace it with. As above, so below. It is a micro-macro metaphor for the threat civilization is facing. They are the Goths at the gates of Rome, and we do not have the privilege to let them tread any further. If we do, they will leave us with no future, no culture, no art, and history as we know it will cease to be. There are telling signs in art and myth that were left for us by our ancestors which outline the meaning of tearing down of statues and destruction of historical artifacts. There are poems about the fall of great civilizations and torn down statues. And in modern times, we have films like Planet of the Apes and Blade Runner 2049, which depict these same things, the destruction of great civilizations, starting with the rejection of history, culture, and art. Our universities are obeying the demands of the far-left ideologues as well, with Western Civ no longer a requirement in colleges and universities, including the most prestigious schools in America. Our culture is being strategically dissected. This isn't a bullish attack on our society. It's a well-planned, strategic deconstruction of the foundations of our society, and we must resist it. I will leave you with Percy Shelley's poem Ozymandias. I met a traveler from an antique land who said, "Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor well whose passions read, which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things. The hand that mocked them and the heart that fed, and on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away." If you want to see more from me and the rest of the Rebel team, like and subscribe.